Cool. So ani bojo kwe kakina kamado gweja babada makwe na dishnakas nyashing ming minwa taganik na donjaba o mama wenene na shnabe king na donji nagig na dodam nishtana shiniswene disobe bonwe nish marido aknadal. So hi everyone, my name is Dani. I originally come from Chippewas of Nawash Unceded First Nation, as well as Algonquins of Barrier Lake, with lineage in Kitagan as well. Um, I was born and raised on occupied, settled Algonquin territory. Um, this is unceded land, and this land was never bought, sold. There's no bill of sale. That's kind of what unceded means. Yeah, we never gave up our land. Yeah, I'm also Otter Clan. I'm 23 years old, and I identify as a two-spirit Anishinaabe woman. And I run the meme account, the band office. Um, yeah, I guess I'll just start by kind of talking about how it started. Um, Currently, I think I'm at 8,100 some odd followers. I started the account, I created the account over 2 years ago. I was with some friends hanging out, and we thought it would be funny to make a meme account. Did we post anything for like a year? No, but we still had it, and I was like always the one who just had it logged on my phone, and I was like, one day I just decided, oh, I'm gonna start posting memes and like start making memes because people were like, oh, you're kind of funny, and so I was like, I'll just start posting memes. And I think that was February 2019. Um, and then it kind of blew up from there. In my eyes, like I never expected to get past 1,000 followers. I was like, oh, this is for my friends to like just have a laugh at. Never thought I would get to where it is now. Not to say that it's like super huge, but it's just bigger than I thought it would be. Um, yeah, I just started making them as like a way to process my traumas in a healthier way. I had just stopped drinking the summer prior. And so I was learning how to deal with colonial trauma. Yeah, a bunch of stuff that was happening, like trying to learn how to deal with that without alcohol. And so for me, memes became a way of healing. I'm pretty sure that's in my Instagram bios. Memes are medicine, because they are. Laughter is medicine, and that's definitely like something that I feel a lot of Indigenous folks are raised with across Turtle Island. Is that like sometimes you just gotta joke around and like not let stuff keep you down. So yeah, I just started making memes. It was actually after I went to go see Snotty Nose Res Kids with my friends, and I remember getting to our Airbnb, um, and posting a meme because my friend Kale Swampy was like, just do it, like just post it, like there's no reason for you not to. And I was like, okay. The name came from my uncle Cody. I was like, hey, I'm gonna start using that meme account. And he was like, okay. I was like, but I need a new name. And he was like, what about the band office? Shit always goes down at the band office. And I was like, you're right. So that's how I got the name. Um, but yeah, it definitely grew to like bigger than what I thought it would be. A pretty big meme account in like the native community started sharing my stuff and like followed me back. And I think that's how it started getting attention. Um, but yeah, that's kind of the creation story of the band office. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say about that.
You want to just like talk about kind of how COVID-19 or like quarantine has been for your meme making?
Yeah. So for me, I have a job that allows me to travel a lot. Um, this is the longest I've been home in well over a year. Um, yeah, I can count probably 10 trips in the past year that were work related. And so being home, I fell into a depression in early March, which I feel was pretty common. I'm already someone who lives with multiple mental illnesses, and so that was expected. I didn't think it would last this long. If I'm being fully honest, I didn't think it was as serious as it was. Um, and yeah, so I didn't make memes for, I want to say, like 2 months. And if I did, they were super sporadic. Um, but I've now just started making memes about things that I get frustrated about, which again, healthier coping mechanisms. um, yeah, it's also giving me a lot more time to actually like plan things out. Not that I do, not that I use that time to plan things out, but there was one that I made that was a Spotify playlist thing. And yeah, I made it of my good friend Kaki K and her partner Terrell, and then also use like the Simpsons crying Indian cartoon. Um, and so I like literally like had to draw it in and like Photoshop, and that easily took me like 2 or 3 hours. And like looking back now, I know how to do it so that it doesn't need to take me 2 hours again, 2, 3 hours. But yeah, um, but yeah, I definitely was like not wanting to meme. I don't know. I was like, the world is horrible right now, and I don't want to do anything. Um, but also, it's definitely like giving me a lot of material. Yeah.
Did you want to like show some memes or like anything?
Sure. I think I'll screen share my iPad then. Um, Advanced? No. There we go. Okay. Share. Okay. I think that worked. All right. So this is my account. Oh, sick. I got some more followers. Um, yeah. So something that I was involved in a little bit was the Wet'suwet'en actions out here in Ottawa. And so a lot of my memes are directed at the government. Um, yeah, like this one. And then this talks about our what we're doing right now, literally. Oh, I also help run Indigenous Style, which is an Indigenous fashion blog. um, I don't know how to turn off notifications for that. So yeah, a lot of my memes are calling out lateral violence, misogyny, um, sexism, colorism, homophobia, transphobia, all the phobias, all the isms, anti-blackness within our communities. Because I think like I have a decent following, I have a decent platform, and so like why not use it to talk about very real issues in our community? Um, yeah. I also am a co-CEO of A7G, who's running this webinar. And I I see a lot of grassroots orgs, community groups, things like that, doing such incredible work with no money, like no funding. And I think it's important to recognize that Indigenous youth are really resilient. And that's also a topic of many of my memes. What else? I love to incorporate language in whenever possible. I'm still learning Anishinaabe. It's a language that was stolen from my family through residential schools, through colonialism, through everything, through the Canadian government. Um, and so, yeah, I like to incorporate that. This is a friend. He posted this template on his account, and I was like, hey, I'm going to use that. Yeah, this is Talon Thomas Simon. He owns Res Famous. Kaylee is wearing one of his shirts. I did some bleach tie-dye on it. Yeah, so this one, I like these ones where it's like just like a whiteboard or like a speech bubble, because then I don't necessarily have to follow a specific format. I can just put a message on there that I want to get out. Um, this was shared when a lot of Indigenous men were being outed or outing themselves as abusers or as violent people. Yeah, also this, like, it's, yeah, these are things that I'm really passionate about and really, I find it's really important to talk about. Um, yeah, I feel like Indigenous women, Indigenous youth, Indigenous femmes, non-binary folks, two-spirit folks are always like putting in so much work. And so I think it's important to recognize that. Also this, I'm a university school, wait, what? University dropout. Um, I dropped out actually not too long after I made the account. Um, yeah, things were getting pretty rough, but again, memes helped me get through it. Me and the cousins after we hear a whistle outside at night. Um, yep. But yeah, it's just like for me, it's a way to like modernize Indigenous culture. Um, a lot of a lot of folks don't see modern art forms as valid within our culture, and I think that um, isn't okay. I think that we have to keep adapting and keep building our culture to reflect today's society as much as possible if we want to see it thrive and if we want to see youth continue to want to pick it up. And so, oh, this is when the Redskins name was changed. Um, but I definitely think we need to modernize and like still keep the old ways, but learn how to adapt into today's society. Um, yeah, so like this, like something really cool that I learned about when I was 18 was firekeeping. And like not knowing why I was so drawn to it and like why that was a role that I felt really resonated with me. Like what, 4? When did I come out? 3 years later? 3.5 years later, I realized, oh, like that's why. Like that's one of the gifts that I carry is like being able to do that work. Um, so yeah, this is like something else I love to do is make fun of colonial institutions through memes. And so I don't know if folks saw, but the Canadian Museum of History posted a bannock recipe and then posted this as the example, and they got completely blasted, like fully roasted, right? Um, and yeah, it was all over Facebook, all over Indian country online from what I could see. And so I was like, that would be a really good meme. And that's also where I draw inspiration for memes is like just modern what? Popular culture. Um this one was specifically about Kaylee. we went out to the marina one night, and she was climbing down the rocks, and she's like, I always do this. This is fun. And we had mom's rental car drop, and the keys fell out of her pocket into the river. And then my little cousin climbed down the rocks and like looked in, saw the keys, and then we were good. We were good. But yeah, I don't know. I can show how I make the memes. Cool. So yes, I'm on the right page. Okay. So this is Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is also a huge way how I got like a following. I was in an article through CBC. Oh, sorry. I use the app Mematic. So it's this one. It's a great app. It's free. And I learned how to not use the watermark on it. Through another friend who does memes. Their account is Spall. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, I just scroll through and see what I can work with. I don't usually come in with a plan. And so we can make one now. I also don't use photos or like templates of people who I know are shitty. So like PewDiePie, no, we don't like him. I do use them of Trump though, just to make fun of him a little bit. But yeah, I also try to watch my language, just because I know I have kids following me. I have little cousins who are looking at my account, and I don't want them to tell their parents that I posted that and that I taught them that word. Wholesome memes, exactly. Trying to find a template to use. I'm open to suggestions. I'm struggling.
Hey, Dani.
Yeah.
Sure. I was thinking maybe I could give you like a theme. Would that help?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe just one on the current thing we're going through, I guess, the pandemic. Maybe around like testing or like not wearing masks or like something like that. I don't know if that'll help.
All right.
Or something about the Canadian government.
Man, this is really difficult. I did it fine the last time.
Hey, Dani, is there one that you're currently working on that you haven't shared yet?
It isn't. But yeah, sometimes it does take me a while to find one that fits good. There we go. Okay, so what I do is I screenshot it, and then I crop it, I'm also working off my iPad to show y'all, but usually I work off my phone. And so I crop it till about there. Done. Save to photos, cancel, close, go back to the main menu. And then it's there. Good to go. Click the check mark. And then that is when I think of a caption. Oh man, I can't think of I can't think of the words. The true. The I can't spell. Again, university dropout. Just kidding. Oh. And sometimes I have to play around with wording, just because it doesn't always come out of my head making sense. The current Canadian government looking to get reelected every 4 years. Whoop. Oh, no. Okay. See, this is what I mean. I have to sometimes work around what's going on in my head. Like, my brain thinks faster than I can get the words out sometimes. And so making empty promises every election year, despite not delivering for the last 4 years. Well, there. And then this is where I kind of resize it. So I just use the slider. Sometimes I'll fix like the font and stuff when it's something that doesn't have like the white box at the top. So export, and then I save to my camera roll, and then I completely exit out. I go to freestyle, and this is how I do my watermark. I leave that bottom part, and you can see it says like made with Mematic. And then add a caption, and then I just add my handle because folks steal memes. And I'm not about to have my stuff get Columbused again. So, and then I just make it really subtle. Sometimes it blends, sometimes it doesn't. But I put it in a spot where they can't crop it out. And then I can export it again, save to album, and then I go into my photos, edit, I crop it. Oh, sometimes it does that. And then there, and you don't have the Mematic watermark on it. And then I can go to Instagram. I post it. Write a caption. This one we'll just do eye emojis. Ooh, and the clown emoji. Sometimes that's all you need is just a few good emojis. And then I share it to the Facebook page. Share. And now it's up. Sometimes it takes a lot longer. As you could see, I was struggling to find a template. Oh, thanks, Kaylee. Kaylee was the first like. But yeah, that's how I make a meme. I have a few favorite. This is the one I was talking about. Took me hours to do. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, you can see it. It's just my chat that's open. So Spotify, I'll show you the process that I went through. Spotify recommended me these two playlists, 10 Years of Heartache. Like, really? Just calling me out. And then also Chill Singer Songwriter. And I was like, 10 Years of Heartache, 152 years of colonialism. And so I started looking for photos that I could put on it. I found this one. And then I was still looking. And so I colored over the, what's it called? The things, the squares. And then I found this photo of my friend and her partner and put it in. And that's how I made that meme. And then, I don't know why I saved it so many times, but this is what it ended up being. Added, obviously, some key players in colonialism as the featured artists on this one. So you have Sir John A. Macdonald, Duncan Campbell Scott, and then his name isn't fully there, but Justin Trudeau. And then for Shacked Up Tunes, we have the classic Buffy St. Marie. We have Redbone, another classic. William Prince, who's from Winnipeg, and then Logan Stats, who is like an adopted brother. And then I added in the Spotify logo to make it more, not realistic. A lot of people thought that I made these as playlists. My friend Nigel, who works for Indigenous Time and Action, was like, I went and searched these and I didn't find it. So maybe I'll start making public playlists, but yeah. So that's one that I'm pretty proud of. It did all right. This is me after cooking. Yeah, I really love Twilight memes. I have a friend who makes Twilight memes. I don't think they post them publicly, but they should. This is my good friend Ronald. He's also my coworker. I imposed my friendship onto him 2 years ago. He came to Ottawa for A7G, or no, he didn't come for A7G, but he came to one of our weekly youth nights, and I looked at him and was like, "You're my new best friend." This was one that I made in Thunder Bay at like 2 a.m. I was there for work, and that's when the occupation at the Department of Justice started in Ottawa. There were more occupations happening around the country, including like Dan Van Daal's office in Winnipeg. I think the Ledge in Victoria. Yeah. This is my uncle who gave me the name The Band Office. The first meme I made was of him. Yeah, he's pretty cool. This is me as a child. My brother will go through our photo albums of us as kids and find the worst pictures of me, but they make for good memes. My mom thinks it's hilarious. My Baby Yoda memes. Okay, so these ones got me an interview with CBC. I remember I was in Calgary for work. I'd gone a few days earlier to kind of sightsee, seeing some friends, and it was like I was talking to someone and they were like, "Oh, let's go for breakfast," and I was like, "Oh, I can't. I have an interview with CBC," and they thought it was something like political or something like that, and they were like, "Oh, what's it about?" And I was like, "Baby Yoda." So, yeah, I also have Baby Yoda earrings. But yeah, Baby Yoda has become a staple on my account. This one made me almost cry. when Nokomis asks you to come sit with her so she can braid your hair and tell you stories. But yeah, this one I made about Josh actually. Yeah, he always smudges everyone at group, and so yeah. This is me listening to the Eighth Fire prophecies. Yeah, they're pretty deadly. I like to imagine myself as Baby Yoda, like baby me as Baby Yoda. So yeah, I just make memes about my childhood. This is me not being able to see, even though I barely wear my glasses anyway. Yeah, this was before I figured out the watermark trick on Mematic. But yeah, these are all my Baby Yoda memes. This one, emo Indian girl made the template. Yeah, this is my mom. My mom, growing up, I remember she always had Pepsi, and she still does. She has like one glass a day, at least. And I was like, "Can I make a meme out of this?" And she's like, "Yeah." My dad hasn't let me make a meme out of him yet. I'm also a jingle dancer, and so powwow memes are one of my faves to do. This is Thielen as a baby. My cousin Thielen has a pretty big TikTok following. So if y'all are on TikTok, _land_K, I think it is. But yeah, a lot of the Baby Yoda memes are just really wholesome and like just cute. But yeah, these are this is Gabby. Gabby also works with A7G and loves berry picking. Yeah. But yeah, these are my memes. I don't know what else to say about them, but
Do you want to show us your favorite one? Like, do you have a favorite meme that you've created?
that's a really good question, actually. This is my sister. Oh, my favorite one. Wow, that's a really good question. Dang, that's a really good question.
Or favorite template?
Oh, you know what? Oh, I passed it somewhere. This one. I'd never seen anyone reverse that template. And it's always like in my family, it was always a joke that like when your status card expires, you're no longer an Indian, or like you don't exist to the government anymore. And I had to renew it for school funding at one point. And it took so long because I had to like provide a photocopy of my status card, like the front and back. And so I was like, I exist again. But yeah. Yeah, any like wholesome ones are my favorites for sure. This one, my family is obsessed with blueberries. To the point where one of my cousins, their like Algonquin name is Blueberry. Yeah. This one too. I actually said this at a Wet'suwet'en action. And then the next day I was trying to send a picture to my sister and I was like, I look exhausted. And then I decided to make a meme out of it. This one, so this one was definitely a trauma meme. As you can see in the caption, this is what Indigenous youth, Two-Spirit folks, and allies were met with in Ottawa. They had snipers pointed at us. And so I think something huge that comes with like memeing is also being aware of what's happening in the world, being aware of what's happening on our lands, on Turtle Island, and like using your account to like amplify people and like not just yourself. This was like a super traumatic thing that a lot of us went through, like having snipers pointed at us. And so, yeah. These are my friends. They were racing in snowshoes when we were in Thunder Bay. And it's like, so that there's me laughing. But someone like just outside of the frame fell. So like to me, that's what makes it hilarious, but no one else knows. Yeah. But yeah. I think those are my favorites. Also this one, I'm someone who is very, I don't want to say strict. I don't know. I'm very like, I follow the clan system because like, yeah. To me, like that's something I take very seriously. And one time I met an Otter Clan person and they were like, oh, like, do you want to go out sometime? And I was like, we're the same clan. And they were like, oh, that doesn't matter. And I was like, peace out. When someone says they would date their clan, and then when you're talking to a cutie, you find out they're your clan cousin. It happens. I'm from a pretty, like, I haven't met too many people from my clan, but yeah. Oh, wow. I make a lot of clan memes, actually. Now that I think of it. Yeah. I just use whatever is on Mematic. But yeah, I'm going to stop screen sharing. But yeah, that's how I make my memes. Those are my favorite memes. And yeah, something we kind of did like a little bit of a meme talk a few months ago. And I remember one of the questions was, what would you say to someone starting a meme account? And so I just want to like put this out there. Like, remember that it's just a social media account, and like you don't have to answer to anyone unless you're being problematic. And so like I have my notifications off for my account because it's so stressful sometimes. Like I have memes that will get like a couple hundred likes, and like to have every single notification popping up on your phone is so distracting and can be really stressful because it's like, oh wow, that many people saw what I just made. And like I get like weird messages sometimes. Like it's always okay to block people. It's always okay to delete something. You don't owe anyone anything. But also if you have a platform, like I always think that you should be using it to amplify folks on the front lines, Two-Spirit folks, Indigenous women, Indigenous youth. It's like, it's just a responsibility that I feel I have. Yeah. I also have like safety things that I do for myself. And that is like safety for my energy, but also like actual safety. So I don't have my full name published on my meme page. I don't typically tag myself on my meme page. And that's just yeah, I don't know. That's just like a little safety thing for me. I don't really care if other people do, but I just won't. What else? Like if people are creepy, I block them. I did have someone, when was that? When we were in Toronto in November, I think. I did have a guy messaging me who like had messaged me before, and like I try to answer all messages. But then he started getting creepy and was like, send me a picture of you smiling and like just being like really sexist, really misogynistic. And so I was like, you know what? Screw this guy. I don't owe him anything. And I blocked him. Yeah. So like, I don't know. I don't keep myself or what? I don't take myself too seriously. I make fun of myself. I joke about myself. I delete hate comments. Sometimes I get really racist comments, calling me like different racial slurs. And I've had to delete like comments that are anti-Black, comments that are homophobic, transphobic. Yeah, you don't owe anyone intellectual labor. You don't owe anyone emotional labor. And that's something that like sometimes I forget. But yeah, something that I try to practice and like not waste my energy on people who obviously aren't there to have a respectful dialogue. Yeah.
So I know you've built like friendships with other memers. Are there any memers that you can like share that also have good content?
Yeah. Let me go through my list. Definitely Spall. They're a good friend of mine. Yeah, I met them in person in Ottawa. And they came up to me and they were like, "Are you the band office?" And I was like, "Yeah." And that was the first time that it ever happened. And I was like, "Yeah." And I was with like my brothers and like, yeah, they were like, "What's happening?" Who else? Knockout Cookum. Yeah, I think they're Navajo. No, they're Dene, my bad. And Seneca and Kumie. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Deadly Auntie with 3 Y's in Deadly. They are Mi'kmaq. Who else? I can't remember names off the top of my head, and so that's why I'm looking. It's not because I'm like pulling them out of thin air. It's actually because I can't remember names. Indian.girl memes or Indian.girl.memes. Yeah, they're pretty funny. Cree Okamawa Square. She is a friend of mine. She's pretty funny. Ijotikak. Yeah. I think they're Labrador Inuk. Who else? The Chief of Memes, for sure. That's my cousin, like literal cousin. Yeah, is that it? Is it? Decolonial meme queens, or no, decolonial meme cousins. But oh, I guess they haven't posted in a year. I'm gonna make sure some of these are still active. Indian memer for sure. Okay, that's the person who I chat with sometimes. So ndn.memer. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Oh, okay. Something wild that happened because of my meme page. So I was a teenager in the 2010s. So of course I was a Twilight fan. One of the Wolfpack guys followed my meme page and I flipped out. I was in the car with Josh and Gabby. I was like, guys, Tyson Houseman just followed my meme account. And what did I do? I messaged him right away. I was like, yo, I used to watch you on Twilight. And now we follow each other's personal accounts, and that's pretty wild. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anyone. Skidding Boy. Indigenous horoscopes. They're not memes, they're horoscopes, but I appreciate them. I think that's it, maybe. Yeah. And whoa. I just noticed I had a message request. Someone said, hi, just want to say I praise the ground you walk on. I look up to badass babes like yourself who sacrificed to fight the good fight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's pretty wild. Jeez. Yeah, sometimes I don't know how to react, but yeah, some other memers to follow for sure. I think Nigel still makes memes. Yeah, he does. So Nazo Nigel, and AZOONIGEL. Yeah, Nigel's a friend from Amiskwacis, Waskahagan, or Edmonton. Yeah, I think those are the accounts that I follow that I like interact with.
Okay. So we can open it up to questions. So if anybody has any questions about Dani, memeing, band office. Any kind of question. It's not
Open to, I'm an open book.
Hey, I just had a quick question about like the use of like Pocahontas or other like settler like depictions of indigenous. Like how do you feel about using them in memes? Do you feel like it's kind of like reclaiming it or
Yeah, definitely like I definitely see it as like reclaiming it, like kind of making it our own, and like yeah, it's also important to acknowledge what those are though. Like for example, like of course we know Pocahontas as like one of the first child trafficking victims who's indigenous. You know, like she was a little girl who was stolen by settlers, brought to Europe, and eventually died there. And so like yeah, I think like it can be tricky depending what you use it for. Like I've seen memes of like the Disney Pocahontas or like pinup native women drawings, I don't know, used to like sexualize it, and I think that's disgusting. And like definitely feeding into like the whole MMIW epidemic. Yeah. Crisis. um but I think like using them as like a way to empower our culture and like reclaim it is very different, but also it's just for natives to use. Yeah, I would be pretty pissed off if I seen a non-native using Pocahontas, well, a white person using Pocahontas as a meme.
all right. Any other questions? Oh, just gonna add on again that because it's being recorded, your voice will be on the recording, but not your face because it stays on Dani's face. So if there's any other questions, you can kind of just scream them.
I have a question. Hi, thank you so much for all that you shared. I followed you for a little while, and you're just so fun. I love your memes. I know that other folks have had problems with censorship on Instagram and stuff like that. Have you had any problems with that? I know that a lot of yours are really wholesome and really sweet, which I really love too. I was just wondering if that's been a problem, or discussions in the memer community, how that's been a problem and what you've done about it.
Yeah. I haven't noticed mine getting censored. I have had them reported before and had to fight with Instagram to get them back up, or like explain like why they're not hate speech. Yeah, I think there's only ever been one of my memes that was like permanently gone, taken down. And that was like last year. Yeah, it was when I was still in school. Yeah, like I try to boost people's memes that I see on my page. And so I definitely think like other memers doing that definitely helps. Yeah. And like to me that also just builds community, like just showing support, being supportive. And like trying to help other accounts grow. I haven't noticed censorship of memes personally. I'm sure it happens for sure. But yeah, what's that called? I've seen the word on TikTok, shadow banned, where like you're not actually banned from posting, or like you still have the ability to post and your account is still fine, but they just limit who sees it, kind of. I think that's how it works. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Like something we have to remember is that I'm pretty sure they're all owned by white people, first of all. And like they're also not meant for us. Like they weren't created with Indigenous people in mind, with brown people in mind. And so like 100% get angry at their reactions or lack of, because like there are so many racist accounts still up, but also so many Indigenous folks who are banned like on the daily. I know someone on Twitter who is a sex worker who like always, probably once a month, has to make a new account because they get banned. And I'm like, yes, like just keep making new accounts and like finding your friends again, but you shouldn't have to do that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, I also have a question.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there was like a particular meme that you can remember that you found cultivated a really good conversation, and that gained a lot of traction. And so like people felt like they were changing their minds on like really problematic ideas they'd held before, or like any meme like that.
Yeah, there was one that I posted like around Christmas. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I remember, because I had to, or I didn't have to, but I deleted my Facebook account for like 2 weeks. Because there was like, I just lost a friend to suicide. And like Christmas is really hard in general for different reasons, right? And so I just deleted my Facebook account, but I made Josh the admin on Facebook so that it wouldn't get shut down. And I made a meme about like cutting off toxic family members. Because I find like, especially for a lot of young Indigenous, Black, and like people of color, like there's still so much colonialism within our communities, and that can harbor a lot of hate towards family members, and like a lot of homophobia, a lot of anti-Blackness, a lot of colorism, a lot of transphobia. And so I know for me, like when I came out, everything was fine for like 6 months, and then I had a close family member like just completely go off on me, like completely unexpected, through Facebook Messenger. And like I can't control how they think, how like whatever they believe or what they think of me, but I can control the relationship that I have with them and like decide to cut them off. And so I remember someone saying like, oh, that's still your family, and like they still love you. And I'm like, if they actually loved me like they say they did, they wouldn't have done that, and they wouldn't have tried to make me feel like less worthy of like family love. I don't know. And so like I'm always of the mind that like, yeah, like that's always going to be your blood family, but also family is what you make it, and family is what you create. Like Kaylee, I call Kaylee my sister, my cousin, my best friend. We've known each other for a year. But like we clicked so much, and like we're both Geminis. um so we'll be driving randomly, it's just the two of us. I'm like, there are four of us in this car right now. um but yeah, that meme got a lot of shares, and that was the first meme that I watermarked, I remember. um I just posted it on a whim, and it got a lot of traction on Facebook, and quite a bit on Instagram as well. But I was laughing because Josh was like, "Oh, like you get a lot of notifications on your meme account," and I thought he meant like the normal amount that I get, which is like 20 a week, like not a whole lot. And I was like, "Oh, haha, yeah, like that happens." And then I opened up my Facebook again, and I was like, "Oh no, he's not lying. That's a lot." So yeah, that one got a lot of traction. I could pull it up really quick actually. Oh man. Sometimes my explore page is wild. There it is.
Yeah, I remember. I remember getting all those notifications. I was like, "What? This is wild."
Like, is this what she deals with?
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
It was this one. Because yeah, like Christmas, especially when having to not speak to family members, like can be really difficult. And so I just wanted to put that reminder out there for people. Did I draw on this? I accidentally drew on it, I think. Anyway, I noticed things like that like way after. Yeah, December 27th. So like this was also like what's that called? A New Year's resolution for me is like just being more mindful of like the relationships you carry and how they can either help or hinder you on your journey. So yeah.
Hey, Danny.
Okay.
I guess I have a question too. Is like maybe just kind of maybe sharing. Maybe you've already shared it already, but like, why do you feel like memes are like like I find the youth this generation, like memes are such a big part of, I don't know, like pop culture, but like also just like of explaining truths, and like I just wonder like why you think that is, or like why memes are so popular today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, and this is just me speaking about me and my friends that I grew up with, we have a much shorter attention span than I feel like generations before. Um, I only first started hearing that word meme when I was like 13 or 14, so like grade 8, grade 9. And like that's when they started becoming popular. And I remember being like, "Oh, that's kind of weird, but like okay." Um not thinking that like 10 years later I'd have a meme account. But yeah, I think like it just gets like a message or a joke across in a really quick way, and like has actually like consumed the internet. Like there's probably billions of memes out there, right? Excuse me. Yeah, it's definitely just consumed the internet, and it's all like there are so many businesses and organizations using memes as a way to market now because they know it's so popular with young people. um and like sometimes they're not great at it, which makes it really funny. But like other times it like actually just sticks in your head, right? And that's good marketing. Yeah, and I also feel like making memes, for me at least. So I work in communications. I work for the 4 Hours Youth Movement, and they're an Indigenous nonprofit, like nationally. Yeah. And we do a lot of work with youth. And so I kind of fell into this job and I love it. It's like, it's perfect for me. And I use what I've learned in meme making and doing our marketing and communications. And so it actually creates what's known as like employable skills in the colonial job world. But it's also like a way to just, sometimes you just got to joke about your traumas. Like sometimes you just got to do that. Like I'm someone who lives with depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder, due to colonialism, of course, but also like different traumas that have happened in my life. And like I remember like even right after they happened, I would make a joke about it because that was like my coping mechanism. And looking back, I'm like, damn, I really should have gone to therapy. But yeah, memes have become like such a huge how do you say that? Like just a huge thing for young people today. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the day that my dad will let me make a meme of him and post it. I don't know if that answered your question, but I hope so.
Yeah, I feel like it helps me understand. Like, I guess I'm like at that. I guess for me, I'm a little bit older. Like, memes run around when I was a teenager. Like, the internet was big. Like, you know what I mean? So, I just see how like young people are drawn to it, and I think it's so cool. And like, I try making memes. I was thinking about a meme that I made of one of my coworkers because he made a joke about like Bob Barker at this youth thing, and no one understood. So I just like, yeah, just like the generations are like, it's so funny, like how what we think is funny. Yeah, so that did answer my question. I guess just a follow up too is like, what do you see like what do you see like going forward with your memes? Like, do you hope like to, I don't know, like, is it just kind of something you'll continue to do, or is there like a next step to memeing, or I don't know. What's the future of memeing look like, I guess?
That's a great question. I don't know. I'll just keep it going until I want to stop, I guess. Like I started the account on impulse, and maybe I'll end it on impulse one day. I don't know. But I know like for me, it's just something that I just like to do randomly. It's something that like I've said multiple times since like we've started this call that like I didn't think it would get as big as it is. Not that it's huge, but I didn't think it would get this big. It's really weird. I was in where was I? Edmonton? Yeah, I was in Edmonton in March, literally the week before the pandemic was declared. And I had like 3 people be like, "Oh my god, you're the band office." I'm like, this is so weird. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to get to 10,000. Not that followers matter, but I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a plan, I guess. I just want to make people laugh. That's like a clan role of Otter Clans, is like keeping lightness during dark times. This elder that I was talking to last summer, she was the first ever elder that I met who was Otter Clan. And so it was really, really special. She came up to me, she's like, "You're Otter Clan, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I'm Otter Clan too. Like I can tell like you carry those traits of like holding lightness in really heavy conversations." And being able to kind of bring things back into, not to say that it's not okay to be negative and like just be upset sometimes, but sometimes like you just got to bring it back. And she was like, you do that really well in the work that I've seen you do just this weekend. And so that's like a plan role of mine, is trying to keep humor and like trying to keep lightness while we're living through colonialism and basically like this post-apocalyptic world for Nietzsche's like this isn't something that we were technically supposed to live through, but we did. And so now we got to make the best of it. We got to make the most of it, and we got to like not let that get us down. Yeah, like I hate that toxic positivity of like just be happy, like just look at the good things. Like you don't have to do that, but it's okay to joke about it sometimes. It's okay to like be happy still and like look at the good things that are happening. Yeah. So I don't know what the future is for the band office, but yeah, I guess like it'd be pretty weird if I was like 50 years old still running a meme account, but we'll see.
Does anybody have any more questions or like, I don't know, something? Actually, we do like the comments / something to say at the end. But like, any more questions for Dani?
Can I ask another question? Okay. I really liked your meme that you did about Lamback when academics try to create theory and jargon about Lamback. But it was really created by young indigenous land defenders and memers from the hood, and you had the Star Wars format. I really liked that, and I thought I really liked how even through your media you become really instructive through your memes, and so my question is, you've had sort of the CPC article write about you. Like, are you at all interested in talking more formally or writing more formally about your memes or anyone else or collaborating with people? Like, how do you feel, about your memes sort of in general, people writing about it more?
I think it's really cool actually. I follow a lot of academics on Twitter. I'm starting university again in the fall, and I'll be doing a degree in interdisciplinary studies with a major in Indigenous studies, a minor in history. But yeah, I actually think it's really funny when academics try to like make jargon, make inaccessible language around movements that were created by folks who grew up in the hood and like land defenders, water protectors, like so like land back started as a joke. Like we just started saying it as a joke. We were like, there was that meme that was going around that was like that guy who was just like whack. And we were like whack, land back. And like it just started at this conference and like a bunch of people were just in the room joking around and like we it just started off as like a joke and like obviously like not the theory of it but just actually saying it. And then the Beaver Hills Warriors I think are folks who really made it big and like popularized it without intent, I think. I don't know, I can't speak for them, but yeah, as someone who like kind of witnessed the creation of Landback, like I really do think it's funny when people try to create an accessible theory around it, because that's not the intent. And like I've noticed a lot of gatekeeping around it. I've noticed a lot of like anti-Blackness actually tied to it, which I think is disgusting. Land back means Indigenous sovereignty, Black liberation, and like land back globally, right? And so, yeah, in terms of like memes and like, I would love to write a paper on my memes. Honestly, like I almost did when I was in university the first go around. I almost did, but then I was like, that's gonna take too long, and like just chose something easier to write about. And like just didn't want to pour out my traumas to a white professor. What course is that? Maybe Debating Canada, which I think was a hilarious course for me to be enrolled in because I was ready every single class. And like we would get like white boys angry. Yeah. But anyway, back to the actual point. Yeah, I'd love to like talk more about memes and like, because I think a lot of folks also see memeing as like a joke, like not something to like take people seriously for doing. But also like if I'm making memes about trauma and that's getting someone to address their trauma and like actually work towards healing and like realizing, I don't know, for example, that like, oh, like going to sweats may actually help me and like that might be something that I want to try, then like why not talk about that as like a way of helping someone heal? Like why not talk about how like me starting a meme account and starting to create memes and like actually writing out what was going on in my head while going through a mental health crisis actually helped me and like possibly saved my life. Like it's looked at in such a patronizing way to be like a meme creator or like someone who loves memes or whatever, but it has such power in it. And like especially Indigenous memes, like they're huge like in our communities, and they get passed around like to everyone. um yeah.
Okay, so I think we're gonna go ahead and end the recording now and then kind of do like a reflection. So thank you, Dani, chief memer of the band office, for coming in. Well, showing people and like people that aren't here how to like create a meme, letting us know like why you do what you do and like what it kind of brings to you in your life. Super grateful you shared all that, and yeah, so we'll just end this if I